Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the DCI part number 790F in a US3 finish, or 605 finish. So the 790F from DCI is a manual flush bolt, but it is specifically one for a wood door installation. The 790 versus the 780, I believe it's called, is different in the door type that you're using it on. So yeah, indeed. There's a link below this video to a document called Product Catalog where you can review the 790 and its sister product, the 780. Basically, you've got three primary types of bolts. You've got manual, you've got automatic, and constant latching. Manual flush bolts are those that are used when you literally manually manipulate the bolt to engage the door, the inactive door, into the frame, the floor. I've seen these installed in active doors as well, when someone was literally trying to pull both doors closed, and not a 790 but a 780. I've seen them mortise directly into the face of the doors so that they could pull the doors closed and then latch both of the doors closed. Obviously, was not a path of emergency exit. So a 790 is a flush bolt that is used on wood doors. The reason that it's used on wood doors is because it's conducive to mortising a wood door for a flush bolt like this that is a corner style versus a 780, which is an extension style where you have to extend great effort to prep a wood door for a manual lever extension style bolt. They're not appropriate when compared to a 790 from only a perspective of machining the material for it. I've machined for this, I've machined for the 780 countless times, and 780s are used for steel doors. Doors that have a hollow channel, like maybe an aluminum storefront door. But when you're doing a preparation in the corner where you can route, I'm just going to remove the sheet metal dust box that's here. That's just what's called a dust box. Just snugly fits over the back of the unit. When you can envision that you're going to mortise a preparation in the door for the body that's here, then the plate that's up here, you do some preparation in the top of the door as well. You can see how that would fit in quite nicely. Basically, you would do a preparation in the edge of the door to accommodate the body here to a specific depth. Okay, you probably might route, I would do a preparation that would be only so deep underneath the faceplate so that this could rest underneath or on top of the door. I would then mortise wider to accommodate the top plate, because that's getting basically the same thickness as this 3/4 inch wide 1 inch wide faceplate, forgive me. And then I would come back to the depth necessary for all of that. Versus a manual extension, a 780, an extension style flush bolt, you can still do the preparation in the edge of the door, but the problem now is you've got to drill a hole from the top or the bottom of the door to get that rod through the style of the door, which can be quite a challenge. You not only need a long drill bit, but you really need a fixture to keep that long drill bit entering the door correctly. And I can tell you from experience that you probably are going to have laminated stiles on the edge of that door. You'll have wood comprising of different densities, and I guarantee you that drill bit is going to want to do this. Even worse, it's going to want to do that, come out of the door itself. If you're ordering manual extension flush bolts, be sure to have your factory or your door distributor prep the doors for those, and that can be done. No problem. You see that all the time. But a more conducive flush bolt is the one that's intended to make the mortising of it less complicated. Enter the 790. So these are fire rated for up to an hour and a half, and it is permissible to use manual extension flush bolts on inactive doors when you are separating spaces that humans do not occupy the other space, such as an electrical closet is where you would see that. it'd be permissible to have manual extension bolts on a door like that. That would be fire rated. Okay, that would be okay. So these are fire rated up to 90 minute and up to pairs of doors, total 8 foot by 10 foot. Now the problem comes in when you're installing a corner style flush bolt on an 8 foot, 9 foot, 10 foot door. You would absolutely need a ladder to get up and manipulate that bolt. About 6 foot would be a good height that most people can reasonably access the flip lever, and you'll see manual lever extension, the 780 bolts, when you get into the taller door heights. You know, to go to a 7 foot, you're probably going to want to consider an 18-inch or a 24-inch top rod, and then accordingly adding on to the top of it as well. This is available in all of the common finishes: polished brass, satin bronze, oil rub bronze, polished chrome, and satin chrome. Now, with the hardware is going to come what's called an installation instructions. It's really just a template is all that it is. And it gives you the dimensional properties of what the mortise ought to look like in the door. And if you compare this against the 780 installation instructions, you ought to say to yourself, yeah, that prep's not difficult to understand. And actually the 790 is even easier than the way I was making it out to be. And what I mean to say by that is they're making it out to be very, very easy. You basically have two preparations according to this template. You're going to have, first and foremost, the body prep. So you're going to go down this dimension that says 5 13/16 mortise from the top of the door down to the bottom of the prep. You're going to prep that 1 7/16 deep from the face of the door. Now, they're not telling you by telling you, the width of that prep is going to be 1 1/32 of an inch, right there. So you're going to do a prep 1 1/32 wide. You're going to do it from the top of the door or the bottom of the door up. You're going to do it 5 13/16. Always a great idea to do a reality check with a tape measure. I couldn't really tell if that was a 5 or a 3, and I knew it was a 5, but I wanted to double check it with my tape measure, reality check. 1 1/32, 5 13/16, 1 7/16 deep. You're going to take your router and you're going to route that all out. Then the only other thing you need to do is do 1 1/32 wide, 1/8 of an inch deep. The balance of the dimension, which is 6 25/32 minus the 5 13/16, and it will give you that dimension there that you're going to prep the rest of it. Same logic for the top of the door. Okay, you're going to have the 7. You're going to have well, that's very smudged there. I have no idea what that means. 2, maybe 2 17/32. Who knows? But there you go. That's how you do it. So 2 17/32. Yeah, I'd say that would be spot on for your prep. 1 1/32 is what you're going to make that. So this will center itself in the preparation ever so slightly. So the prep is really simple. If it was me, I'd probably not make it 1 1/32 all the way up. I would probably make it, 15/16 all the way up to here, and then I would widen that out. Why would I do that? Well, because I want a lip or a ledge for the faceplate, my 1/8 of an inch piece of brass, to sit on. I want that margin to be a little tighter. I don't want there to be nothing underneath this, but if you're incredibly comfortable with a router, etc., and a caliper, proceed accordingly. But that's simply how this is installed. Strike plate is going to be included. The faceplate of this material is going to be made of solid brass, which is what's going to give you that really great finish of polished brass. 2 1/4 by 15/16. That's your strike plate. You'll mortise that into the header or into the sill, whatever you're attaching it to. Screws for the body into the door and the top of the door. You're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to have 3 up top. Then you'll have 2 for the strike plate, so that should be a total of 9. Oh, so forgive me. No, there's not 2 here. Manual extension, the 780s have that. You need a total of 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I knew I was 2 screws short. So, great quality item from DCI. These guys do a great job. They are easy to get a hold of. They ship promptly, they ship predictably, they ship reliably. They have a nice quality product. UL listed, so the inspector can see the visual evidence of proof of it being UL listed. Okay, you can disassemble this if you need to modify the length of the bolt head, which is typically brass, I'm told, and that is indeed the case here, or at least it might be zinc. I don't know that that bolt head is brass, but it's non-ferrous, I can tell you that. Typical projection on these is generally about 7/8 because you want to have 3/4 inch of it or so engaged. It's maybe 13/16. Okay. Sometimes longer bolt heads are required, and I don't know that DCI does not offer those. You might have an unusual circumstance where you just need to have a lot more bolt hanging out in the unlatched position because you've got a weird undercut. That may be able to be something that can be accommodated, so reach out to us. Finally, there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the DCI products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. If you have any questions on the DCI, this is their part number 790F in a US3, more properly called 605 finish, because that tells us the base material is brass and that it has a polished finish with a lacquer, or any other DCI product, please do feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.